Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 3 of OG and the B, where he's the OG and I'm the B. You think you did that wrong.
Yeah, OGB.
No, you pointed at you when I said I'm the B.
I was saying I'm not. You said OG, then I went like this, and then you went I'm the B.
Oh.
I did that. We're good.
Okay.
Women.
Wait, we're still going?
Yes.
Okay, anywho.
You get an outtake with the intake.
Okay. Hey, so let's first start off by saying thank you so much for all the support once again, even though this has only been our 3rd episode. We really appreciate all the love from every individual out there. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, comment,
All that good stuff.
Yeah, so I'm a little happy today because as a Rutgers fan, we probably had the best night in, I don't even know, definitely the whole season, maybe even the past 2 seasons.
It topped last year's great night and morning.
I'm
I think so.
Still anxious about it. I think from tip-off, well, let me just tell you what happened first. So Rutgers went to Purdue, played in the RAC's competitor, the Mackey Arena, against the #1 team in the country and beat them by 1 point. Wow. It was just such a crazy game to watch.
Nobody thought it was going to happen.
Yeah. I walked into work that day and I was telling people about it. I was just expressing my anxiety for the night and they were just like, wow, well, good luck against the #1 team.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I wish the same for them. But, we're both so excited for what's to continue after that. We're so happy for them. They played so hard. And it was just a great game overall. Throwing it back to last year, Purdue, again, ranked the #1 team in the country. But they played at the RAC. And as you've heard from Caleb McConnell, I'm sure other players have said it as well, they can beat anybody in the RAC. We've even explained the just energy that the RAC
they've
brings.
Proven that. They've proven that they can beat anybody in the RAC.
Agreed.
Doesn't matter what they're ranked.
Yeah, so just the fact that they were able to beat them and do it again a second time at their home court was just so exciting to see.
And I don't think anybody, if there's anybody out there that can look up stats, I doubt, I'll go out on a limb, I'll doubt that no unranked team 2 years in a row beat a #1 team.
Right. The fact they were unranked plays a huge part.
Both
too.
years unranked beat a #1 team.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt that's ever been done before, and I'd love somebody to check that stat. But yeah, that was awesome, and you just love it because nobody gives them a chance. I mean, Rutgers never. It's always like. And even Rutgers fans, it makes me sick that you get some of these fans, they're so up and down where it's like, oh, hey, so great. And all of a sudden you lose a game and, it's over. These guys can't win on the road, blah, blah, blah. Even commentators, they're talking like, they've never won on the road. They did win on the road, but the referees took it away from them. Mm-hmm. They beat Ohio State, who was ranked, I think, 20th. They went to Ohio State, beat them, but the refs took that game away. And yet they comment, but they haven't won on the road. Obviously, you don't know Rutgers. You don't know the team. You don't know the games they've played. And to make those comments from way over here, it's just to me, it's being a bit lack in your job. And maybe do a little research before you start making those type of comments.
It's like, what is it going to take for them to prove? Well, they don't have to prove anything, but just
No.
to
but they did last night. Mm-hmm. They did last night.
Yeah, so where should we start?
Well, I think we start with what a huge kind of accomplishment it is for the program, as well as the players. I mean, I think now, and if I was a kid and I'm out there wondering where am I going to go to school and I'm being recruited, like, damn, I like that Rutgers team. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, they had a national platform last night. I'm sure there were more people watching that game maybe than any other game last night. So you're a fan, you're a potential recruit. You may have been watching that game, or if you weren't, you know now about that game, and all of a sudden Rutgers becomes on your radar.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, hold on. And they did it 2 years in a row? There's something about this team, this program, this coach, and most important, this culture If you like playing defense and that's your thing, Rutgers could even be number 1 on your list. It could be number 1 because of all the teams out there. I think Rutgers easily is the year after year under Steve Peichel, the best defensive team in the country. Mm-hmm. And again, they proved it.
Agreed.
And that allows them to be able to play with anybody. So I think there's a lot more than, okay, we won, we beat number 1 2 years in a row. It's deeper than that. It's what does this do for the program? What does this do for recruits? And, in a way, I didn't go to Rutgers. You did. I almost feel a little jealous. It's like, wait a minute, my team should have been a little like that. I mean, I went to Fordham. You know that. I played ball at Fordham. We beat Georgetown, I remember, who was a top 20 team my sophomore year. But, I mean, that was it. We didn't have this kind of success or this kind of recognition. Everybody's talking about Rutgers again. And I think this is one of those wins that people will be talking about for years. And now that it's combined with last year's number 1, those 2 events, that'll be like a legend.
Yeah.
Rutgers folklore. Yeah. Do you remember that team that 2 years in a row beat the number 1 team? They had Ron Harper and Caleb McConnell and Gio Baker and Paul Mulcahy and Amarui. Those guys are like going to be legends at Rutgers now for, I think, the rest of their lives.
Yeah, they're definitely the epitome of an underdog team. Like we said in the beginning, they were not expected to win this game whatsoever. And I'm sure last year it was the same story. But just to see it happen now 2 years in a row, I think it's safe to say Rutgers owns Indiana.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I didn't know, but they've beaten Purdue like 5 out of 6 now. 5 out of 6, if not 6 out of 7. I think it might have been 5 out of 6 going into last night. It might be 6 out of 7 now. Indiana is like 7 straight. Yeah. So yes, good point. They own Indiana. Indiana is our... Who's
son.
Your daddy? Who's your daddy?
They're our son.
They're our son or daughter, or what have you. But what I also want to mention is that there's bad news here. Believe it or not, there's bad news. And the bad news is the cat's out of the bag. Rutgers is good. And you better be ready when they come walking into your arena. This is not a only home team in the rack team. So cat's out of the bag. Everybody knows. They beat Ohio State away. They beat Purdue away. Yeah, they're gonna be a marked team coming into an arena. And how about this? Rutgers may just be the best away team in the Big Ten from those 2 games.
Why not?
Nobody beats teams on the road in the Big Ten. They did it twice. And I keep saying they beat Ohio State because they did. And you're not going to tell me otherwise. They beat Ohio State.
Yeah.
If not for those wonderfully inept referees who didn't know the rules, and we had a whole show about that. If you didn't see it, get on our channel and go check it out. I think we covered it well. They literally blew it, and I can't believe they're still licensed to referee. But anyway, I think Rutgers now, that's the bad news. Cat's out of the bag. They're a really good team, and on the road, in the rack, doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. You take out that Miami game where Caleb, it was his first game back literally, and they had Miami by 11. At Miami, by the way, no Paul Mulcahy. Miami's not ranked, I think, 11th in the country. Rutgers had them. Seton Hall was the game after they got robbed in Ohio, so the heads weren't on straight. Tough-ass game. They lost by 2 in the rack, which was a total, anomaly. That should not have happened. They beat Ohio State. Seton Hall's not even close. So there's 2 games. Temple you lost, but they had nobody. They had no Caleb, no Mulcahy, and it was at a neutral court. And Temple's pretty good. Mm-hmm. So there's your 4 losses, all with a reason. Nobody pounded Rutgers yet, like they have last year or the year before when they made the NCAAs. 2 really good teams.
That's a good point, yeah.
And They got waxed out of Illinois. I'll never forget, they lost by 35 last year at Illinois. And everybody was like, oh, this team stinks. They can't play on the road, blah, blah, blah. And they've always been. You go to Michigan, you lose by 20. You go to Michigan State, I think we lost by 25 2 years. That's not happening with this team. These guys go to every game. They don't care where it is. We can beat these guys. Mm-hmm. We can beat these guys.
And they know it, too.
And it's funny because we have a good, let's say, journalist out there who knows a lot and sometimes is a guest on our show, Mr. Caleb McConnell. And Caleb actually texted me a couple days ago and said, oh, we're going to beat these guys. Mm-hmm. We can beat them. He knew it. And that's where I think we can get into some stats now to show exactly why and how they beat them.
Yeah, let's take a look at the first half first. Purdue's #1 player, arguably the best player in the country right now. That's what they're saying, yes. Mr. Edey, they completely took him out of the game the first half.
Literally and figuratively.
He shot 1 of 3 shots.
3 shots.
Yep, they put 2 fouls on him, which ultimately, what you're saying, took him out of the game for, I felt like I didn't even see him the first half, but
you really didn't.
Rightfully
Saw
so.
him on the bench.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was a huge key player that they took out, and without him, it's kind of like a couple freshmen running the court, and that's why I feel like the rhythm of Purdue kind of got lost when they lose their star player.
Absolutely, because their whole game for 13 undefeated games was to get the ball into Edey, and if he doesn't have a shot, kick it out, and they're shooting threes or moving the ball, which they did really well. But he's gone. Now it's like, oh, now what do we do? The play is every time you give it to Edey, and now what, coach? So you're right. As soon as he comes out, it's a totally different team. But what I saw last night that I should have probably asked Caleb, and I know that's what he saw, he had 2 freshman guards.
Yeah.
2 freshman guards. They were in high school 6 months ago. They were in high school, playing against high school players. Now they're on a stage as #1, playing a team like Rutgers, possibly the best defensive team in the country. Whew, how did we miss that? How did we miss that? But here's Caleb says, we got this. We're going to win this game. Because he knew freshmen are not going to beat them, especially 2. Him and Paul against 2 freshmen?
Yeah.
That was like 10-2 if you could score those positions.
Yeah.
Right?
Edey carried the team.
Edey is that team. And you shut him down, which we did in the first half, not necessarily in the second half, but that's what made it close. Because he did come back in and he got some baskets and they went back into their rhythm and made it a close game. But, I mean, you look at it, in the first half, he's 1 out of 3. What do you have, like 3 points, 4 points? There's a guy that's averaging over 20.
Yep, he had 4.
So that's a big, big deal. But he still got in 28 minutes in the game. He was only second in minutes. Smith had 30 minutes. Edey was second with 28. So he missed some time, like 10 minutes? It was a 40-minute game. But that was huge. That was huge. For us, we had our normal cast of characters. We had Caleb leading the way with 33. Paul had 37. So there's your 2 guys with the 2 most minutes. Cliff, 35 minutes. So your 3 captains playing 35, 37, and 33. That's what makes this team so solid, is nothing phases veterans like that. They've been there, done that, seen it all. But the one stat that I think really stands out is the field goal percentage. Rutgers does not let you put the ball in the hoop. Not even at your home court. Sorry. They came into the game shooting 45.5%. Everywhere. I'll bet it was even closer to 50 at Mackey. That group is a good shooting team. 45% on the season. Rutgers holds them to 39. And a lot less shots. They even had a couple of shot clock violations at home. So not only did Rutgers knock them down 6 percentage points shooting at home, probably more, because like I said, I'll bet they're more like 48 at home. So almost 10 points worse. Rutgers caused them to be at home, but they gave them less shots. So now if you usually take 40 shots a game and you're making 20, well, Rutgers is only giving you 28 shots a game, and you're lucky if you make 12. Mm-hmm. That's a big stat because Rutgers does not give you a lot of looks.
Right. Okay, and with that being said, I want to ask your opinion. How did you feel the matchup was between Cliff and Edey this game? Did Cliff do what he was supposed to do? Could he have done anything better, specifically in the second half? What did you see?
I saw kind of what I expected. I saw Cliff and the rest of the guys against Edey because they could not leave Cliff alone with Edey. Mm-hmm. Love Cliff, made great strides. He needs to make a lot more strides defensively, one-on-one. He's great at defending other players coming to the hoop because he can block, he can get in their way. He's great on the help off the top screens. But one-on-one against a good center like Edey, like Trace Jackson, like Dickinson on Michigan, when that comes, he needs help. Mm-hmm. And that's what Rutgers is great at, helping. They help each other.
Good point.
So Edey against Cliff and Rutgers was pretty much what I thought. He gets the ball, they're in there smacking away, grabbing, clawing, getting some turnovers. On the other side, when Cliff got the ball, Edey, if you look at the tape, a lot of times it was just him and Cliff. Mm-hmm. And he was just holding his own. A couple times they did shoot another guy in to give Cliff some trouble, a few times.
Yeah, they did double team.
They did double team. But I think Cliff held his own defensively and offensively, except Cliff. You got to stop taking those threes in the second half. I don't mind you taking them in the first half. Game's still got a lot going on. You feel good. You're open. Second half, none. Zero. Do not shoot a three, please.
Coming from a place of love.
Yes. Because
the first one was amazing, but the second half it gets a little down to the wire. Just kind of.
Yeah, and he didn't though. When it came down to the wire, they were giving him so much space, like begging him, "Please shoot the three. Go ahead, Cliff, please." Right. So he was smart enough to know, nope, I've had my fun. He made one, and then I think he might have missed one or two. So he deserves that. Yeah, 1 for 2. We'll give him that, but just don't take him in crucial times, please. Sure. And then that one pass that he made to Caleb, he kind of hit him in the head. It was God. Cliff. It's always a handoff. Always a handoff. For 13 games now, it's been a handoff. Yeah. All of a sudden, he decides to flick it into Caleb's head. And that was a pretty hard throw because that ball went way down, started their fast break.
Kind of just like, what just happened?
No, that's what happens. I mean, I've said it all along, Cliff is still a little immature in terms of his basketball sense. He hasn't been playing his whole life like the rest of the guys on those floors. I guarantee you Cliff started way many years after these other players. And from what somebody mentioned at one of the games I had asked, matter of fact, his family, I heard something that he just started playing like in high school. Like early high school, really seriously took the game when everybody else on that court had been playing since they were 4 years old. So he does have some more learning to do and basketball sense to absorb, and he'll get there because he obviously shows it. What he did from freshman year to now, it's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
And so kudos to you, Cliff. You keep it up, and you're going to be in the NBA next year. And every game you get better, which is great. And I've said that since your freshman year. Don't worry about it. Just keep getting a little bit better every game. Don't worry about the bad stuff. Worry about the new stuff you're doing.
Yeah.
So, I was real impressed with the overall team, and it's those veterans, man. Caleb, Paul, Cam, nothing phases them. They don't get nervous. Not one time did you see they're always handling it. The place is screaming. It's a 1-point game. Tie. It's like as if they're up 20 or down 20. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I even asked Caleb after the game because even just watching, I'm nervous and I've never been in that environment, been in that position. I don't know what that feels like. But just sitting on the couch, I'm nervous. So I asked him. I was like, was there ever a point in the game or even before the game where you were a little nervous? And his response was, why would I be nervous? And that's just such a player's mentality. You shouldn't go into the game thinking, what if, and just do it.
That's a veteran player mentality.
Yeah.
Because there's players out there that they've been playing all their life, but they're like, I saw the freshman on Purdue did that. That's why they're diving to save the ball out of bounds from a normal pass, throwing it into the stands. They were nervous. They're playing against a team that's making them nervous.
Yeah, they did throw it in the stands like at least 2 or 3
Even
times.
Edie did.
Edie did, yeah.
So Rutgers makes you nervous, but I don't think anybody makes Rutgers nervous.
If I had Mowat in my face going like this and snapping and clapping, I would be nervous too.
And he's 6'7" with like a 7-foot wingspan.
I love watching him defend. It is so fun.
He is awesome, and that's what makes Rutgers so great. You got 6'7" Mowat, 6'7" Caleb, 6'6" or 7" McCahey, and their arms are so long. They're filling gaps.
Yeah.
They're filling gaps. Their arm goes up even when they're not looking. A pass may hit that hand. Mm-hmm. Because it's that much longer than most other players' hands and length. And Peichel's always said that we have good length. And now you can see what he means. It's that type of length that creates and fills gaps. Mm-hmm. Creates good defense and fills gaps. And that's what makes them really good. So I have to make one big shout out because I was myself not necessarily a doubter, but I was a little, I don't know about Cam Spencer.
Yeah.
You've heard me mention that he doesn't look ready. We've gone to enough games at the rack, and he's missing open shots. He was nervous. He hadn't really felt comfortable yet. You could see, and I'm
a little inconsistent.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, well, that's what he does, but yet he's not doing what he supposedly does. So what does he do if he's not going to do that, which is make shots? And now he's getting comfortable. Mm-hmm. He's starting to lose that initial nervousness that I guarantee you he's had, because a good shooter who doesn't miss in practice, which we know he doesn't miss. If you go to the games, you watch him before the games, he doesn't miss. But when you miss in the game, it's up here. Mm-hmm. It's nerves.
Yeah, and he had probably the most important shot of the game.
Of his career. I guarantee you that was the biggest shot he's ever made in his life to date. No doubt. Against the #1 team on national TV, away in a screaming arena. That's what kids dream about. I dreamed about when I was a kid. That's like at the end of your little practice session, you're going, okay, 3, 2, 1. That's what we all did. Anybody who's played the game, that's how you end your own little practice session. Going a little 3, 2, 1. He did it, and God bless him. Great job, Cam. Paul, great job down the stretch. We always know that, you can do that, and you have been doing that now for several years, but you really did it when it really counted. Great defense again. Caleb, Mowat, Andre Hyatt, again played a great role and even made that 3 that kind of didn't look like it's supposed to go in, but thank God we got that one.
Yeah.
But
I also want to add, you said the first statistic that stood out to you was the field goal percentage, but in my opinion was the fouls. 24-11.
Oh, thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, adding ref Larry
Scirotto,
our best friend, Rutgers #1 fan, Purdue's 6th man on the court.
Yeah, horrible. Larry, I hate to say it, but really you should get another job. Find another career. Because you are not a good ref. And everybody knows it. It's not just us. Go on Twitter. Go on Instagram.
Oh, I did. I looked up.
It's not just Rutgers fans. It's everybody. Wherever you ref, those fans know that you can't ref. Why are you reffing? Why does the Big Ten allow this guy to continue? He's terrible.
He called 6 fouls on both teams, and I think 8 minutes it was.
24-11.
Yeah.
And don't tell me it's because Rutgers is the hands-on and defense that grabs and pulls. Purdue is also a great defensive team. They're like 25th in the country. They do the same type of physical, aggressive game. But yet they only get 11 fouls. We get 24?
That's more than double is absurd.
Yeah, and it's not just Larry. It's also Paul Selk. Selc. Paul Selk. I don't like him because he is just one of those refs that think his poop don't stink. Yeah. He thinks he's right every time. There's no, maybe I missed it. Like, I like DJ. Mm-hmm. DJ is the tall, bald ref, and he and I have had a couple of conversations, actually, at the rack. DJ's cool because he'll tell you, hey, I missed it. Give me a break. I missed it. I'm like, okay, yeah, very good. You did miss it. Okay, he admits it. Paul Selk will never say that. There he is.
He's arrogant. He yells back at the crowd.
There he is. Mr. I am the best. I know everything. I'm never wrong. I'm never wrong. And for those that don't know, here's our other friend, Larry, who called that foul on Caleb right in front of him. If anybody can go back and look at the game, please do. It was the most ridiculous call of the game. There were actually two. And of course they happened right at the end when the game's on the line and the refs are not supposed to get involved to cause which team wins or not, influence it. They both did it. Larry, right in front of him, where I forget which player
Smith.
it was.
Might have been Smith.
It was, I think, Lawyer. It might have even been Lawyer. Where he gets the ball, leans into Caleb, steps on Caleb's foot, and puts his shoulder into Caleb, knocks Caleb back. They both fall down. What does Larry do? Calls a foul on Caleb.
Caleb falls first on the ground because he just pushed him over, and naturally he's going to fall over Caleb, and somehow it's Caleb's fault.
Stepped on Caleb's foot, so he couldn't even adjust his position. He steps on his foot and then put his shoulder into him. Larry sees two guys go down, and he's like, I got to call something. Okay, foul on Cat. Why? Why? Both guys went down. You obviously didn't call it right away. Even the announcers on TV said, wow, that was a late whistle. Mm-hmm. Puts him on the line in a very crucial time. Thank God he missed both shots, because there's another play influenced by Larry that could have determined, Purdue, you're going to win this game. Rutgers, sorry. You played great and you should have won, but we're going to take this away from you with a phantom call. That, please, if you can see it, it's just, and it was right in front of him. Right, standing right there, 5 feet away, tops. And then there was a call that Paul Selk made on Paul Mulcahy, where I'm pretty sure, again, it was Lawyer driving to the lane, and Paul's got his hands up. He's just playing him tight. No pushing, no knocking him off. Lawyer kicks it to the guy in the wing, and Selk calls a foul on Paul. Puts him on the line again for 2 shots. Why are you making these calls, guys? Those are non-calls. Let it go. Play on. But you want to influence the game? Why? Because you hear screaming fans at Mackey Arena and you want to look like a good guy so they all cheer for you and your call? Refs actually do that sometimes.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
They hear the crowd and they want to be the good guy. I'm going to make a call and get cheers. They think the cheer is for them. They honestly
so
do.
Pathetic. Like,
it is.
You're so pathetic.
And Larry and Paul, both of you guys should rethink your future careers, because you're obviously not good refs. Or you know what? Keep reffing, but go back to high school. Because these are the kind of things that happen in high school games, and, you know, what are you going to do? It's not as big an influence on the kids' lives as it is in the Big Ten, an undefeated team. And, you know, you guys killed Rutgers at Ohio State, and here you're trying to do it again at Purdue.
Yeah, I mean, Cam had 4 fouls, Caleb had 4 fouls, Wolf has 3, Hyatt has 3, Mag has 3, Cliff has 3, Paul has 3. Are you kidding?
24 fouls against Rutgers, 11
against. Just say you don't want us to win.
Do you not, guys, go back in your little referee rooms and say, oh my God, did we really call that many more fouls? Adjust yourselves. Think about it. Don't influence the game. Let them play a little bit, especially at the end. And stop with this ticky-tack crap calls that you guys were making. Larry Scirotto, Paul Selk, both of you guys should retire. Done. Okay. Let's move on before I have my own episode here. But anyway, on a sad note, again, the sport world cannot be,
all glitz and glam.
Yeah, it's I'm still, and I God, that's just terrible. Damar Hamlin of the Buffalo Bills, and what happened to him is really terrible. I couldn't take my eyes off it last night. I just wanted to watch something in regards to just tell me he's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've constantly been checking updates. This morning, that was the first thing that I looked to see if they had any news on his health or his current state. And I mean, it just goes to show how dangerous football is, and it's so scary. You never know what could happen.
Well, and again, it's a contact sport. Obviously, they've been adjusting the equipment for years, trying to make it safer. All those head injuries that now they're finding guys are kind of losing it. Junior Seau, one of my favorite players of all time, played for the San Diego Chargers, had this, I think it's CRT or something, too many hits to the head, and you have a bad ending to your life after your career's over, and it's terrible. But I think this might be a little different. I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say this wasn't so much a football injury as it was that, because the hit didn't look that egregious.
It didn't.
It's not like it was a head-to-head, like two rams rushing at each other and bam, and of course, oh my goodness, of course somebody's head, concussion. This was more of almost a normal, a hard hit, but a little more normal than that head-to-head. And then he has a heart attack, a cardiac arrest.
His heart stopped.
My first thought, and I think you even mentioned, we thought it was a head injury. Because we saw his head go back, and that's usually what happens. You get a little loopy, dizzy, and then you fall down because your head isn't. But this was because of his heart. So I don't know how much the hit and actually football, and I'm sure this will come out, that did he have an underlying arrhythmia or something in his heart that was just waiting for a big hit to kind of cause it? I don't know. What was your feeling of the way the game was handled after he went down and taken away, and with the NFL and stuff like that?
I mean, I think I didn't even know why it was a question whether the game should be continued or not. I mean, as a team, you could have possibly just witnessed one of your brothers, your teammates, just pass away on the field, and the thought of even continuing boggles my mind. I don't even know why that was in question. So the fact everyone is at home, the fans in the stadium just patiently waiting for I don't even know how long. Well,
an hour.
Yeah. Are they going to play? Are they going to not? Just no. There's no need.
I don't think that was a good. I don't think that was a good look for the NFL to be waiting that long.
Yeah.
And you know what stinks is that what caused them to wait so long was because this game had playoff and stuff implications. If these were two teams that were 3-12 and not going anywhere, this game would have been called like that. Oh, sorry, game over. It's me. But the fact that they had to bring in, well, they're fighting for first place, and we got playoffs next week and money, and that's where it was a bad look.
Yeah.
It was a bad look, and there's one person I blame, and that's Roger Goodall. The commissioner of the NFL has the power. Shots? Absolutely. He can make one phone call and say, shut it down. And they absolutely will. He could have done that. I guarantee you. It's like that phone underneath the glass that's sitting in his office. You call that phone and you get right to the president and you say, what do we do? He could have shut that down, and it should have been done in 30 minutes. Because from what happened on the field trying to revive him, and how they should have had an expert doctor say, look, it's been more than 3 minutes. I think it was somewhere between 5 and 9 minutes, they're saying, that he had no heartbeat. He was unconscious. And after 3 minutes, you're in danger zone of having serious brain injury and trauma. So once they had that info, there should have been somebody to make a call real quick and be able to say, you know what, we don't want to take any chances. We're not going to wait. Is he okay? Is that what they were waiting for?
Right. He's
okay. He's up. He's talking. He's waving. Yeah, play on. That's what they were waiting for.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Could you imagine if they did continue the game, and I'm not even going to put this into existence, but the worst that could happen happened?
Well, they wouldn't have. That's the point. They were not going to start that game again until they found out that he's up, he's waving, he's thumbs up, he's talking. That's what they were waiting for. Then they would have kept playing, because then they could go to the players.
That never happened. That's what made them decide to cancel it.
Exactly. And that's why it's a bad look for the NFL, because they had plenty of time to have expert doctors say, yeah, the chances of that happening, no, it's not good. But they wanted to wait, and they wanted to see so they can tell the players, he's up, he's okay, he said go get him, whatever. And then they would potentially play on, but still make the call earlier to have not only the better look for the NFL, no, it's because that's the right thing to do. You should not be considering this has playoff potential and we got TV contracts and how are we going to do this next week and who's going to be playing who with the playoffs. And postpone that as well. Life is way bigger than sport. But they didn't show that with that hour plus wait. Yeah. They showed that sport is as important as life. So let's wait. And I didn't like the look at all. And I know you found something that you sent to me. You want to comment on that by our good friend Skip Bayless?
On the theme of people who should quit their jobs, Skip Bayless
that should be the title maybe of one of these episodes, is who should be quitting their job, finding new work.
Yeah, add Skip Bayless to that list because he just dug his own grave.
Okay,
last
so
night.
hold on. So it's Larry Scirotto, it's Paul Selk, and now Skip Bayless. Go get new jobs.
Yeah, so at 9:30 last night, he tweeted, "No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game. But how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, ... which suddenly seems so irrelevant. What's irrelevant is your opinion."
What's irrelevant in about I'd say if not already, I'm always checking my phone, is you. You should be irrelevant because after a comment like that, you have no right to be relevant and no one should be following you. And I kind of used to like watching Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith when they had their kind of first take, I think it was called. Nice back and forth. You know, one guy gives a little dig to the other guy, and it was great, back and forth. But Skip, now I got to think that, I'm going to go out on a limb. Either you didn't get enough sleep last night, you maybe went out drinking with your friends, or you're imbibing different chemicals into your body to come up with a statement like that, because anybody with any normal focus and sense of
read the room.
Thank you, took the words right out of my mouth. Read the room, Skip. You don't make that comment. Is he trying to get fired? That's what this is. This is, hey, bosses, fire me. I want out of my contract.
Yeah.
Is that what he wants? Maybe that's what this is.
Did he need attention? Was his name lacking in the media?
It could be. Or he, like I said, maybe he wanted out of his contract. And this is the way out. Fire me. But still, it's an insult to Damar Hamlin and his family and his life that you make this bigger than him and his life and his family's lives.
Yeah.
That's bad choice, Skip, all the way around.
This morning, during his show, he put out the dumbest apology.
He did apologize. So I didn't even get that.
But it was like one of those apologies where it was like, "I'm sorry if I offended anybody, ... and then gave a reasoning why he tweeted that, whatever. I couldn't even finish it. It was so stupid, and whatever he said couldn't change my opinion, but
I gotta look it up. He apologizes, so let's see.
Apology, but whatever.
This guy is definitely on his way out. And if he doesn't get fired, shame on ESPN or whoever has it.
His career will never be the same. I mean, if you look on Twitter, the amount of athletes and people in the world just bashing him.
Oh, how funny. Former NFL player Jacob Hester told Bayless to read the room and have a heart. Bayless said, "Nothing is more important than a young man's health. That was the point of my last tweet. I'm sorry if that was misunderstood, but his health is all that matters." What?
You didn't even mention the man's name.
Where in this tweet about, no doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game, but how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. Where is the guy's health in that statement?
Yeah.
Oh my God, this just blows me away.
No,
his apology is delusional.
Did he take his meds last night? I'm confused.
I apologize for what we're going to set out to do here today. If it offends anyone because we're going to try to do the show, pretty much as usual, we do the show. I'll admit up front that I'm still shook up what happened last night. In fact, I'm still wrecked. In fact, I'm not sure I'm capable of doing the show. No, they shouldn't let you do the show. What a jerk. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I wish I wish we could do more. But, I'd like to be able to just push buttons and these guys are out.
Okay, guys, and that is our show. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode and being able to share our happiness with you.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll be able to do this again next week and
have more happiness.
More good things to share, and more excitement to share.
Yeah, and I guess it's nice to know that we're doing kind of combos. We're doing Rutgers stuff, and then we'll always have another, timely current events in sports. Yeah. Good and bad.
Yeah, we can't not do Rutgers,
Yeah, it's too good.
Too exciting. All right, well, thank you again, and hope to see you all soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.